Okay, my fellow Americans, good morning. Today's date is August 23rd or 4th, 2017. I don't pay attention to the dates that much unless I have an actual appointment to go to, so I apologize if I'm a day or two off in reference to the date that I just described. Now, fellow American citizens, I strongly suggest that you watch this video, because what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to give a thank you by and through my statements, okay, to the types of individuals that I listed, that I described in the title of this Periscope video. Now, I incorporated also in the title of this Periscope video a YouTube URL link, and if it is the right one, it should be the YouTube video of Mr. Trump, President Trump, addressing the American Legion as it's going on right now in Reno, Nevada. And that is what compelled me to make this video. Now, if it accidentally copied and pasted another link pertaining to a previously copied link, then I apologize for that. So if that did happen, you can always go to YouTube and type in President Trump speaks at Reno, Nevada, American Legion, and you should be able to bring it up. Now, my fellow American citizens, the reason why I decided to make this video today is because as a result of listening to Mr. Trump, I only listened to about 5 minutes. One thing I'll say about Trump, he at least sticks up for, as much as he can, veterans. And I admire that, absolutely. And that is the purpose of this video. Veterans, good cops, whistleblowers, and gang stalking victims as well. Because the majority of gang stalking victims turn into be whistleblowers. And if you had any idea what I know concerning what is happening to gang stalking victims, you will understand how important they are. Let me just give you a fast example of that, and I'll move forward. And if you're tired of hearing about gang stalking, the only thing I can do is tell you, one, this account was created to inform, to expose about gang stalking. It was also created to make videos for lawyers and law firms that I will eventually attempt to approach, and to inform the public. So it is wise, it is prudent, it is necessary for all peoples to research this crime because of the extent, depth, and scope of it. Now, let's see, what was I going to say? Veterans, good cops, whistleblowers, gang stalking victims, and so many more human beings on this planet do so much to attempt to try to do good things in order to preserve our way of lives, in order to protect our communities and our nations, in order to protect innocence, and in order to try and secure a better tomorrow. You know, even the littlest thing that you can do, including just smiling at someone as you go about your day, can change a person's current perspective pertaining to what they might be experiencing in their life. It might lift them up. It might give them that added momentary inspiration to keep moving on and moving forward. As a result, they may do something that day that assists them in additionally moving forward and keeping up and staying in the good fight. We can all do anything that we can do, sometimes the most smallest thing that can make a difference. Just like throwing a pebble in a lake. The effects of that pebble being thrown in a lake, the ripples of it, okay, can change and affect, okay, the outcome of a person's life and things they may be experiencing. And that's why I made this video. You know, I'm going to talk for a minute about good cops. Okay. It is my opinion, okay, that most cops probably join the force in order to make a difference, a good difference, okay? And there is a lot of cop bashing going on in this country, and I don't really approve of it, to be totally honest with you. Not in its entirety. The police do make mistakes. Some police are corrupt, absolutely. But I hope that most people join the force in order to make a difference. And those individuals do sacrifice a lot, and they do put their lives on the line. So we should remember that. And we should honor it and respect it. Absolutely. The bad cops, I hope they get busted. Flat out. Now, veterans, when you really look at what our veterans have went through, see, the average human being has never went to a foreign country and has sat in a foxhole and had bullets and all that stuff flying over their heads and bombs blowing up around them. Their lives being put in immediate danger and sometimes non-stop constant danger, like our Vietnam vets. I have a lot of respect for them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Those types of people need to be honored, from cooks to people who did administrative jobs to your combat soldier and so on and so forth. And all support military personnel need to be respected. Whether we respect the wars they're involved in or not, the average soldier needs to be respected. Because most of them, I'd say at least 90% of them at least, join the service in order to make a difference. Yes, of course, to possibly try and make the military their way of life. Okay, and so on. Yes, all the added benefits, I'm sure, were probably motivations to join as well, but they still made that sacrifice. I'm an ex-military wife, so I know what it's like to be a military wife. What I sacrificed and went through. How I ended up not getting nothing after I filed for a divorce. Okay, I probably could have tried, but I didn't. But the point being is that we need to respect our veterans. Absolutely. Absolutely. Whistleblowers. If you had any idea what a lot of whistleblowers are enduring as a result of being whistleblowers, having our lives completely destroyed from every aspect concerning what makes up a human being's life that enables a human being to be able to function within society is completely destroyed, deconstructed intentionally, completely destroyed, made homeless, destroyed financially, blacklisted from employment, blacklisted from medical, legal, advocacy. So make no mistake about it, there's a lot of things going on in this country that the average American citizen does not have a clue about concerning what's really going on. Now let me get back to gang stalking victims just for a minute. I want to try and immediately show you how important gang stalking victims are. There's a YouTube channel. You can go to Google and you can type in Ella space, press the space bar on your keyboard, Ella space YouTube channel space gang stalking and or space electronic harassment. The reason why I'm stating for you to do that is because there's a woman who's on the internet right now, and at least 98% of the interviews that I've seen her have on the internet, they're telephone conference interviews through YouTube, are great, very informative, very, very informative. Now, she's interviewed ex Secret Service agents, ex NSA and CIA agents, and thousands and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of gang stalking victims. Now, the ex NSA, ex CIA, ex Secret Service agents are being targeted with gang stalking. They're also exposing what they know concerning gang stalking. Some of them can't expose everything they know because of clearances that they've signed as a result of being previously employed through these intelligence agencies. So, and there are also military whistleblowers out there that are exposing gang stalking. Like, I think his name is Jon Voight, Jon Voight. That can be Googled in YouTube, the gang stalking. My ex-husband was in the Navy, who held a position that was directly connected to technology that's all over the internet now, that's being exposed as being a necessary, a exposed feature that is connected to some of the technology that is used against gang stalking victims. He was a submarine radar antenna electrician. I remember to this day, he took me on the USS McKee, and he took me into the actual space where he worked at, and there was a long antenna that was encased in a olive green type casing. And I said, "What's that?" And he said, It's a submarine antenna. I remember it to this day. It's on the USS McKee here in San Diego at the Point Loma submarine base. I remember it to this day. Absolutely. And the USS McKee was a submarine tender, meaning that it was a boat that assists in, that goes out and is on the actual sea, that goes in front of and or behind submarines as they're porting at dock or leaving the dock. It's a submarine tender. That can be Googled. Now, submarine radar antennas are all over the internet to be directly connected to the at least discovery of what is known as the microwave hearing effect, which is a technology that is being exposed by tens of thousands of people all over the world as being one of the main technologies that are being perpetrated against gang-stalking victims. Now, the reason why I brought this up is because I wanted to immediately introduce to you how important gang-stalking victims are. Think with your mind. Use your common sense. Use your critical thinking. If ex-NSA, CIA, military intelligence officers like Julian McKinney, go to YouTube and type in Julian McKinney, Greg Szymanski, live leak broadcast. Listen to what she's got to say and who she was. So you got ex-military personnel, ex-intelligence agencies personnel, ex-CIA, NSA, and including people like William Benny, all over YouTube, all over Google, exposing gang stalking, as well as ex-CIA scientist Dr. Robert Duncan, who was on the Brain Invader show with Jesse Ventura, which you can watch it on YouTube. So when I state to you that I am a gang stalking victim, I strongly suggest you start researching this crime so you can see how important we are and what is being done to us. Like going to Google and typing in non-consensual military human experimentation and gang stalking. And how DARPA is being also additionally implicated in the perpetration of that. DARPA is DIA, DOD. They are the head military research for the DOD and the military and the Department of Defense. If you honestly think gang-stalking victims aren't worth listening to. And I want you to know that 98% of this experimentation encompasses non-stop daily torture, including torture that can lead to death. Now, do you honestly think that crimes like this are not protected? Remember what I stated pertaining to how gang-stalking victims are blacklisted from legal advocacy, including down to the local level law enforcement, courts, prosecutors, public defenders, DA's office, and state attorney general's offices as well, including governors. And this is one of the reasons why this crime is exploding all over the nation, and not one case has been prosecuted. So we are living targets of this crime if they are being perpetrated with human experimentation concerning this crime, are living in a non-stop electromagnetic concentration camp. I strongly suggest you research my other videos dedicated to this Periscope account. So a gang-stalking victim who's a whistleblower is just as important as any veteran who has sat in a foxhole and experienced non-stop life-threatening, experiences. Just like a cop when he puts on that waist and he sits in his car with his partner and he gets a call, shootout, gang-related shootout, and he goes to that event not knowing that if he's going to come back from it. Same concept. And so that's why I decided to make this video, my fellow Americans, my fellow human family, is because whistleblowers, gang-stalking victims, good cops, veterans need to be honored, we need to be respected, and you need to listen to what we have to say. So, this is just a tidbit video. Now, I also strongly suggest you go to my Twitter account, which is at HIGGINSGGGG. Let's see if that account is ever shut down before I can file and or win any lawsuit against anybody that I file a lawsuit against. I am seeing all over Twitter and at Google that whistleblowers and gang stalking victims' accounts are being shut down. Twitter, blogs, email accounts, and YouTube accounts. So when you go to my Twitter account, go to the profile and bring up the blog that's attached to it. Pay close attention to the Periscope links within it. Pay also attention to the tweet links that are within it. And when you go into my Twitter account, you can also press on where it says tweets and replies and scroll through those so you can see the most recent tweets that have been posted by me. Okay. All right, my fellow American citizens, this was just a tidbit file. Now, in closing, I want you to listen to me. I'm homeless as a direct result of the homelessness being intentionally created for me to live in. Okay. So, on any date, especially in the next 30 days, if I'm arrested for illegal lodging, trespassing, or encroachment, or any other event that comes about that causes any type of arrest at wooded areas and along my routes, it'll be directly connected to gang stalking. If I am banned from any MTS public transportation service, buses, trolleys, it will be gang stalking no matter how it comes about, no matter who acts as a stage witness, including bus drivers. And check this out. Recently, I've made quite a few videos concerning MTS within this Periscope account. Well, there's a guy on Twitter that's following me on Twitter right now who's a gang stalking victim that finally fled from the USA and went to Syria. I looked at some of his tweets, and I also went to his Facebook page, which that link of his Facebook page is on his Twitter account. Now, that was looked up by me today, so if you want to go into my Twitter account and look at what I retweeted, you'll eventually find him. I forgot his name. One of his professions in New Jersey, as he was being targeted, was a bus driver. Now, I had already made some videos online in this past 2 weeks about MTS, and the bus driver was being involved in the gang stalking of specific gang stalking victims here in San Diego. Absolutely, that can be Googled. If I'm banned from any library or grocery store, or any property damage occurs at libraries or grocery stores, including my bike. They just broke my left brake off a brand new bike here in San Diego about 10 days, within the last 10 days, brand new bike. If I'm ever involved in any type of vehicle accidents because I cannot stop my bike because of the assistance of pertaining to the assistance that a left brake would have for me, and now that I can't use it, it will be because of what happened to my bike. That happened at Vaughn's on Regents Road and Arabia Street in La Jolla, California, where I'm gang stalked on a massive scale. Now, gang stalking perpetrators monitor all the cyber activity of their gang stalking victims, so they are aware of my Periscope account, my blog, my Twitter account, and so on. This can be Googled. This can absolutely be Googled, the gang stalking. So you can see that it's being exposed by tens of thousands of victims all over the internet. People who have never spoken to each other are all stating that their computers are hacked, phones are hacked, email accounts are hacked, YouTube accounts are hacked, blogs are hacked. I've been on national radio shows exposing this fact as well. And the majority of the national radio shows that I've been on, those national radio show links are incorporated within my blog so you can hear them. They are introduced. So my fellow American citizens, I strongly suggest you extensively research this crime on Google and YouTube and look up Ella's YouTube channel so you can listen to her YouTube videos. I have just recently put in a tweet that I just posted today, at least 2 or 3 YouTube interviews from that show. I'm also trying to connect with PACT International. I haven't scrutinized enough about them yet to see if I'm comfortable with that organization, but I'm trying to connect with fellow target individuals within California, safe ones who know a majority about how, if they're being neurologically manipulated through remote neural monitoring. See, because a lot of gang stalking victims who are being remotely neurally monitored and neurologically and biologically manipulated, if they don't know enough about it, they can act out towards human beings, including fellow targets. So I'm not suggesting that they're violent in any way, but what I'm stating is that it is all over the internet being exposed by Dr. John Hall, Dr. Robert Duncan, Roger Tulsis, You can YouTube him to electronic harassment. It is all over the internet that gang stalking victims are being neurologically and biologically manipulated and influenced. And if a specific target individual is not aware of how they can be neurologically manipulated, they can be manipulated to act out. And so it's prudent for us fellow target individuals to be very safe, to make safe choices about who we associate ourselves with. Even a victim can be used against a gangster. As sad as that is. So I am trying to connect with my fellow target individuals here in California so I can get out of this isolation that I've literally been put in non-stop since 2002. I got to get out of the homelessness because they're using it as a control mechanism. Okay. So please, fellow American citizens, please research this crime. Please say a prayer for my safety. I am being targeted by law enforcement in San Diego as well. They're just staying more behind the scenes now because they don't think that they're not aware that I'm exposing them. No matter what they ever say in my physical presence, no matter what they ever say that's recorded on my tape recorder or on any video camera, they are absolutely, totally, and completely aware of who I am. Absolutely. All right, my fellow American citizens, I strongly suggest you research what I've stated in this video and in my other videos. Thank you for listening, everybody, and have a great day.